Okay, in a saucepan, I'm going to add 1 cup of water, and I'm going to add some cinnamon sticks. I'm going to add two. We're going to make like a hot tea or like a tea with these spices. And this is optional, okay? I have some whole clove. And if you are allergic to any of these spices, you don't have to add them in there, okay? You're gonna skip that part. I'm gonna add approximately like 15 to 20 clove or to your taste, of course. So clove and star anise or anise estrellado. I'm going to add like four or five, and we're gonna boil that until you make them change a color, okay? It's like you're making a tea practically. Okay, my water is boiling. You gotta be careful, don't not to okay, your water don't evaporate too much. Okay, we start changing colors. Now we're gonna set that on the side. Okay, you see. So, and we're gonna let it. I'm gonna let the spices inside for a minute. In the medium saucepan, I'm going to make the caramel sauce. So I'm gonna put that in medium high, and I'm gonna add a cup of granulated sugar, and we're gonna use a wooden spatula. Okay, so we need to be careful not to burn the caramel. If you burn the caramel, you gotta start all over. And here I have 4 cups of evaporated milk. I'm using Carnation, but you can use whatever brand name you like. And if you don't find the evaporated milk, and then you can have regular milk. And this is 1 can, 12 ounces, okay? But I'm going to use like 2.5 of that. Or you can measure it with a measuring cup, 4 cups of milk. I have 4 cups in there. And I have 4 large eggs at room temperature. I'm going to use 1/4 cup of butter. I'm using salted butter. So because I'm using salted butter, I'm not going to use salt. But if you use unsalted butter, and then you can put or you can add 1/4 teaspoon of salt, okay? And we're gonna put that in the microwave because we're gonna melt that microwave or the stove, whatever is easier for you to melt the butter. I have 1.5 cup of granulated sugar, so nutmeg, and it's optional. I'm going to use half teaspoon, and 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and I'm using one loaf of the French bread. You can use Cuban bread or whatever bread you have. So now I'm checking in my caramel, and it start getting some color. Okay, so at this point I'm going to stir the sugar a little bit, and you see, if you see it the little like hard like that, don't worry, it's gonna melt, but don't let it burn, please. And don't put your fingers inside either. You start getting melted. It's almost done. Pour my caramel inside, and we're gonna cover the bottom part. So sometimes you have to be careful because sometimes the caramel is so hot, and it's and then the baking pan start getting hot also, so you gotta be careful. Now we're gonna let that in there, and we're gonna do the bread pudding or the pudding mix. Like I say, I have a bowl and I have 4 cups of the evaporated milk or regular milk, and I'm gonna add my tea. I'm using my strainer, and my tea is cold, okay? Because that was the first thing we did. So we're gonna add it to the milk, and then I'm going to add the 4 eggs. I'm gonna beat them first, and then I'm gonna add it to the my milk mix. Now I'm going to add half teaspoon of nutmeg, and you can also use the fresh nutmeg, just shred some in there if you like, and 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. I already heated up my butter, the 1/4 cup of butter, and it has to be cold, okay? So we're gonna add 1.5 cup of sugar, granulated sugar, and we're gonna stir that real well. And in here I have one baking pan with water. We're gonna add the other pan inside of that pan. Okay. Now I'm gonna start adding my bread, and you got the option. I'm going to add my bread. I'm cutting with my hands, but you can, cut it with your knife if you like. And in this point, you can use your blender. If you're gonna use your blender, and then you're gonna add everything to your blender and blend the whole thing. But if you're gonna use it by hand, and then you're gonna cut all the bread, and we're gonna let them soak for 10 minutes, okay? So I do it this way because I know some people don't have blenders, so that way, but if you have a blender, it's the easiest way to do it. So I'm gonna add my whole bread, and like I say, it's 1 pound. I'm sorry, 1 pound of bread, and I'm gonna let them soak for 10 minutes. Okay. Make sure you the bread is covered with the milk. Okay. 10 minutes pass, and then I'm going to use a potato masher, and I'm gonna mash the bread. And don't be scared. If you see the mix liquid it, because it's gonna be a soft and nice and yummy bread pudding. The next day gonna have more consistency. So I guarantee you, you're gonna love this when you made this. It's so good. So we're gonna make sure you mash that real good. And now in my baking pan with the caramel, I'm gonna pour the mix, and I'm gonna bake that. And make sure you preheat your oven at 315, okay? I forgot to mention that. So we're gonna put that inside another baking pan with water, and I'm using hot water from the faucet. And we're gonna bake this from 1 hour to 1 hour and 30 minutes. So what you're gonna do is, after 1 hour, you're gonna see if your bread pudding is ready. You're gonna insert um, a toothpick or a fork in the center, and it comes out clean. It's ready, okay? If not, you're gonna let it cook 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So that's depend on your oven. So now we're gonna put this in the oven and cook this on cover for I'm gonna say 1 hour and probably 1 hour and 15 minutes. But at the end, I'm gonna let you know how long it took. Now it took exactly 1 hour and 15 minutes at 350. So I check it with a fork, and it comes out clean. So my bread pudding is ready, and I'm gonna pass a butter knife around the edges, and I'm going to let it cool down. So sometimes I don't even wait, but you can put it in your refrigerator. You can let it at room temperature for a few hours before you turn it over, okay, because we're gonna turn that over. So I have another baking flat sheet in there, and I'm gonna turn my bread pudding. It's still a little bit hot. I can wait. I never wait. So carefully, you're going to flip them. So it still hot, so I'm gonna use some meat, and then I'm gonna flip my bread pudding. And then I'm gonna let them cool down a little bit more before I cut it. Probably an hour or so. But I like mine warm, so you see smoke. I'm gonna try the edge. Let's see. Mmm, it's good. It's real good. So let it cool down in there before you cut it. And you can add some raisins. If you like raisins, you can add some raisin or some dry fruits if you like, okay? I like raisins, but some of my family doesn't like it, so I didn't add them in there. So now I'm going to cut my piece of my bread pudding, and I'm going to show you how it looks. So here is my bread pudding, okay? Yummy, yummy. Try this recipe. Puerto Rican bread pudding, or pudding. We call him budin. So it's real good. Mmm, delicious. This is good. You can add some raisins if you like, but I like either one. Bye. God bless you. On to the next one. Besos.